So here we are back at Godot docs in the introduction. At first look at Godot's interface. Anyway, let's do it. The first look at Godot's interface. Pardon me. This page will give us a brief overview of Godot's interface. We're going to look at the different main screens and docs to help us situate ourselves. All right. For a comprehensive breakdown of the editor's interface and how to use it, we can see the editor's manual. All right. So we're going to get here at some point, and I'm sure it's going to be after we're actually cooking. We'll go through this like piece by piece, but because look how much this is. There's not just this. There's this, and then there's this, and every single one of these I think is a page. Oh no, there's pages inside these pages. So yeah, but I like that. Look, that's motivating, isn't it? I like that. Look, and it's the same. Anyway, we'll get to that. Look, remember this hammerhead guy. Remember that guy because we're gonna see him in a little bit. All right. So this page will give us a brief overview. We already said that. The project manager. When we launch Godot, the first window we see is the project manager. So this thing right here. In the default tab projects, we can manage existing projects, import or create new ones, and more. Right. So it's this projects thing right here. If we were to be in the actual Godot thing, actually in Godot. So yeah, there's that right there. What else we got? At the top of the window, there's another tab named Asset Library. So this thing right here. Oops. The first time we go to this tab, we'll see a Go Online button. For privacy reasons, the Godot Project Manager does not access the internet by default. Okay. I'm just wondering, does that mean that it's actually kind of a little bit insecure? Like the security issue, it might have security issues, right? I mean, why else? I don't know. Maybe it's just some boomer. I don't know. Look, these guys are from Argentina, and you know, people. I mean, they're doing. Look, you guys are doing a great job so far. I love your. What is this thing called? Tutorials, I guess, documentations, and all that. But the thing is, you know, maybe they got some things going down in Argentina. I don't know. But regardless of the fact, once our network mode is set to online, we can search for demo projects in the open source asset library, which includes many projects developed by the community. Okay. So yeah, I already went to this in actual Godot. I opened up Godot earlier. And yeah, it's just an algorithm thing. These things were hot whenever this thing was made, and it's just whatever's hot is at the top of the list right now. All right, so that's how that's going. So let's go to the next thing. Project Manager's settings can be opened using the settings menu. All right, so yeah, over here on the settings, we've got that too, and they've highlighted it right there also. From here, we can change the editor's language. Default is the system language, okay? Interface theme, display scale, network mode, and also the directory naming convention. All right. And then to learn the project manager's ins and outs, we can read using the project manager. And we can see over here, we'll get rid of this too. We can see over here, it's another thing we're going to see in the manual. So we'll get to the manual at some point, like I keep saying. I'm probably going to say it again until I stop saying it. So let's do it. First, look at Godot's editor. So when we open a new or existing project, the editor's interface appears. And let's look at the main areas. Let's make this bigger too. By default, along the Windows top edge, it features main menu on the left. Top edge, main menu on the left. I guess it's this. Yeah. Workspace switching buttons in the center. Okay, these. And where are they? And playtest buttons on the right. All right, so these two, these little plays and whatever. We'll figure all that stuff out later. Just below the workspace buttons, the open scenes as tabs are seen. The open scenes. Remember we were talking about scenes yesterday? Yeah. The open scenes as tabs are seen. I guess it's this they're talking about. Anyway, so the plus button. Where's the plus? Oh, this. Okay, this here. The plus button. Okay, the plus button right next to the tabs will add a new scene to the project. With the button on the far right, distraction-free mode can be toggled, which maximizes or restores viewport size by hiding docks in the interface. This thing here. All right, so I guess this is like a full screen thing. All right, let's keep going. So in the center, below the scene selector, is the viewport with its toolbar at the top. Okay, so this right here. Yeah, we know this. Anyway, where we'll find different tools to move, scale, or lock the scene's nodes. Currently, the 3D workspace is active. Okay, so that's what's going on here. And we've got the, what did it say? Different tools. So I guess that's what this stuff is, to scale, move, scale. So I guess this is move, scale, lock here, rotate maybe? Anyway, so yeah, there's that. This tool changes based on the content in selected node. So here's the 2D toolbar. So this one right here. And then we've also got a 3D. Oh, so yeah, it changes if it's 2D or 3D. Okay, so the 2D one has this hand, the 3D one has this box, and I'm sure we'll learn about all that stuff when we need to. All right, so see also, to learn more on workspaces, we are going to read the 4 main screens. Well, the thing, look, this actually is this right here. So I'm not even going to bother clicking it. To learn more on the 3D viewport and 3D in general, we can read Introduction to 3D. So it's another thing right here. And look, it's that guy. See, that's what's pumping me up. This guy is pumping me up. Okay, these guys are pumping me up because look, it's the hammerhead guy there that we saw earlier from, where were we? Where was it? You remember, right? Just rewind because I don't remember where it was. But yeah, look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. We can make this in Godot. It's so, what's the word? Overwatch style, you know? And like maybe we can make it first person shooter, you know? Because I like those first person shooters. Have you seen that one with the guy with this where they draw the weapons? Anyway, I like that style too. Look, there's a lot of stuff we can do. We're going to get into all this, but let's go back to this. On either side of the viewport sits the docks. Sit the docks. Okay. At the bottom of the window lies the bottom panel. Okay, so let's look at the docks. The file system dock lists our project files, including scripts, images, audio samples, and more. File system. This one right here. The scene dock lists the active scenes nodes. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to get it. Okay. At some point, we're going to have to watch like some pro. There's got to be a pro. There's got to be at least some pro doing Godot on YouTube somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go watch some of his videos. Anyway, so yeah, we've got this here. We're going to go watch a YouTuber that does this stuff, and we're going to see what they do. And we're going to lift whatever good ideas they have from them and make them ours. And we will also, hopefully there's more than one. If there's like 5, if there's like 10 or 20, or maybe a lot of people making Godot stuff online, we will be able to see, we will be able to really, really cook, because we can take the best out of everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's the key. I mean, look, it's cool to experiment and stuff. And it's also cool to just say, hey, all these guys are experimenting. Why don't I just, you know, why don't I just take the best of the best? I mean, you know, The inspector, because, you know, like you're naturally going to experiment on your own as long as you do stuff. So it's not like, you know, like, look, reality is, and I'm going to rant. I don't care. It's my channel. It's my video. What was it going to say? Anyway, forget it. Let's go. Inspector allows us to edit properties of a selected node. And there we go. It's right there. Inspector. What is that? Also, yeah. That's inspiring. That's somewhat inspiring right there. That little picture. Somewhat inspiring. It's so Overwatchy. And can you just imagine duking it out with two teams, just like Overwatch? I mean, straight up take it from Overwatch, or not? I don't know. Anyway, let's get back. Yeah, there's that inspector. That's this thing. So that's probably where you get the files and stuff, or I don't know. We'll see later. To read more on inspector, we can see the inspector. Okay. What is that? This page is working. I didn't look at this. But we can go into that later. And then docs can be customized. We can look at this too. They're both. I think this is inside of here. Yeah, this is they're both in the manual. So yeah. All right, back to this. The bottom panel. The manual, right? Give me a secandual. Give me a secannual. All right. The bottom panel situated below the viewport is a host for the debug console. Okay. I bet they're talking about this. What are they talking about? Oh, yeah. It goes down. Yeah, they're talking about this right here. All right. The animator editor. Okay. It's the host of the, okay, let's do it again. The bottom panel situated below the viewport is the host for the debug console, the animator editor, the audio mixer, and more. Audio, animation debugger, output, and shader editor. Okay. Anyway, they can take precious space. That's why they're folded by default. True. Okay, I can see why. Let's keep going down. When we click on one, it expands vertically. Below, we can see the animation editor open. Okay. I wonder, we'll get into that. We'll get into all that. Bottom panels can also be shown or hidden using the shortcuts defined in editor settings shortcuts under the bottom panels category. 4 main screens. That was what they were trying to send us to earlier. There are 4 main screen buttons centered at the top of the editor. 2D, 3D script, and asset library. They're talking about this right here. Okay. We'll use the 2D screen for all types of games. In addition to 2D games, the 2D screen is where we'll build our interfaces. That's a little bit inspiring too, don't you think? Like seeing it and then thinking, we can make our own. We can make our own and we can make it even cooler. You know what I'm saying? We can do whatever we want. It's just, it's just, we'll see what we do. We'll see what we end up doing. In the 3D screen, we can work with meshes, lights, and design levels for 3D games. We'll get to this later. Right? We'll get to this later. This looks complex, but I'm sure there's tricks where we can make it better. I mean, because look at this. I'm sure we can draw lines and shade in stuff. You know, the only thing is we don't know. Like, because we've all used Paint, right? I'm sure this is just like Paint, but with like different controls, and like you have to figure it out, right? No big deal. That's why we're doing this. But yeah, look at that. That's crazy. But at the same time, remember the hammerhead guy. Oh, look, look at that. It's that hammerhead guy. That whole scene was inside of this, wasn't it? Anyway, let's get back to business. So we can read Introduction to 3D for more detail about The 3D main screen. I think we already went to this. Yeah. So there, behind this is this, but not really, really. Like in the editor, yeah, but in reality, we're not going to have this in the actual code. That's ridiculous. So boom. It's going to be so cool. It's going to be so cool. It's going to be so cool making our own thing, right? It's going to be so cool. Let's get back to business. Let's get back to it. The script screen is a complete code editor with a debugger, rich auto completion, and built-in code reference. All right, yeah. So this is more in our wheelhouse, up our alley. Yeah. So we can do that stuff. That's easy. Finally, the asset library is a library of free and open source add-ons, scripts, and assets to use in our projects. Oh, okay. I'm not big on using plugins and stuff, or what do they call this? Asset library? But we'll see. Okay, we can learn more about these assets and about the asset library. Where's this at? So this is it. This is down in community. So we'll see where we get. We'll see where we get with this stuff. Maybe not. Integrated class reference. Godot comes with a built-in class reference. Okay. We can search for information about a class, method, property, constant, or signal by any one of the following methods. Pressing F1 or Option Space on a Mac, or function plus F1 for laptops with a function key. Anywhere in the editor. Okay. Clicking the search help button in the top right of this script main screen. So yeah, this one right here. Help. Yay. Or search help. Where's that? Top right. Didn't they say that? Oh, we can move this over some. Huh? Nah, what happened? Hold on. Search help. Oh, there's not. What? Anyway, there might be a search help at some point. Maybe if we have an actual thing open. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Maybe that shows up when we're actually working. Who knows? And then there's also the help menu here, and then control click or command click on Mac OS on a class name, function name, or built-in variable in the script editor. So we can control click on stuff and it'll give us info. Okay. When we do any of these, a window pops up. We can type to search for any item, and we can also use it to browse available objects and methods. Okay. I mean, well, maybe, but we'll figure that out. Double click on an item to open the corresponding page in the script's main screen. Double click on an item. What? I guess this to open the corresponding page in the main screen. I guess. I don't know what they're talking about there. Anyway, alternatively, right-clicking while pressing the control key on a class name, function name, or built-in variable in the script editor. What's that going to do? What is this? What are we doing? Control clicking things, and then what's this going to do for us? I forgot. What are we even talking about? Oh, it'll give us a tooltip, I guess. Okay, so that's how to get tooltips. Control clicking, right clicking on nodes, right click, yes, and then choosing open documentation. Okay, so it's just like that, like right clicking and then there'd be an open documentation, or just control click. Can I control click here? Okay, anyway, control click and it'll do something else. All right, so let's go to the next part. User contributed notes. Nobody is contributing on this page. Let's go to the next one. So that's the end of that. So now we're on to learning new features, and we'll see you next time.